All right. Well, welcome back. The weekend is on us very quickly. We have the 70th anniversary Grand Prix coming to us from Silverstone, FP1 tomorrow morning. So let's take a quick look at some of the top stories before we head into this weekend's 70th anniversary Formula One Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas confirms that he has signed a one-year extension, bringing him to 2020 with Mercedes. So Lewis Hamilton and Bottas will be teammates at Mercedes for at least one more season. I think it's a great signing for Bottas. I think he knows that getting podiums and getting wins, this is his best team to be at. And, I thought he had a really good start to the season, but Lewis Hamilton's kind of on a different level now. I've always been a Bottas guy in the sense that I really would love to see him get a title before he leaves Mercedes. But here he is, one more year with Mercedes, and that is one more year that we know George Russell probably won't be coming up from Williams. Sebastian Vettel, deal with Aston Martin. Could it be done already? So some reports coming out that the deal with Seb has already been completed and that they're just waiting to announce it with Aston Martin Racing, currently Racing Point. Not sure if Sergio Perez COVID test has anything to do with that. Sources I read say that the deal's unlikely to be announced anytime soon. So even with the Perez COVID testing right now, I'm not really sure that is the reason why they're not announcing it. And when it comes to a deal like this, there could be a lot of finer points they're still trying to work out, even if they've agreed to a initial deal. But yeah, so initial reports, looks like Sebastian Vettel might be the second driver at Aston Martin Racing. Still leaves the question, will it be with Lance Stroll or with Sergio Perez? Speaking of Sergio, Checo is waiting on test results to confirm that he can race this weekend at Silverstone. So there were some questions about whether or not it was a 10-day quarantine, 7-day quarantine. It looks like he has fit all the requirements for the UK's 7-day quarantine, and all he needs to do is test negative one more time for the COVID-19. And as long as that comes back negative, he should be back in the car this weekend, which is great to see him back. But we're just waiting on that. So that was a couple hours ago that news came out. So those results should be in pretty much any time, I would say, in the next couple hours, if not tomorrow morning at the latest. So with Perez back, Nico Hulkenberg confirming that he has made talks with other teams for a full-time 2021 return to Formula One racing. So possibly we could see Nico Hulkenberg back. A couple videos ago I reported that he could be the Mercedes reserve driver next year, but I think it would be fantastic if Nico could get a full-time ride back in Formula One. I always really liked Hulkenberg, and I think last week he didn't get a chance to race, but he looked really fast in FP1, FP2, FP3. He looked pretty good in qualifying. You give this guy the right equipment, I think that he still has earned a spot to be on an F1 grid. What teams he might be talking with, it's kind of hard to say there. Maybe AlphaTauri, maybe Williams, not really sure. But we'll see. We'll be watching Nico Hulkenberg, see if he's back next year. Carlos Sainz and McLaren are still very upset with Romain Grosjean for the way Grosjean defended during the British Grand Prix. Carlos called it unacceptable in the way Grosjean defended. I honestly didn't have a huge issue with the way Romain Grosjean defended for the majority of those 4 or 5 laps that both McLarens are trying to get by him. There was that one move where he dove down into Carlos, and I think that one was maybe a little unsafe. But to be honest with you, if you're a Haas driver right now and you're in those cars that are not very fast, and you're pretty much doing everything you can and pulling every trick out of the books to be able to try and get a top 10 finish, you got to defend like it's your life depends on it. And for Romain Grosjean, his racing life and career might depend on him getting results. Kevin Magnussen is finishing the points this year, and Kevin Magnussen has looked a little better than Romain. So he's getting to be kind of a desperate driver here. We know he can get it done, but he's also one of the most criticized drivers in Formula One. I don't want to see him making any moves that are going to be putting anyone at risk. Carlos is a fantastic driver. Yeah, that one move was maybe questionable, but overall, I don't have a huge issue with the way Grosjean defended during that race. But if you disagree, let me know. But either way, Carlos Sainz is still pretty upset, so we'll watch to see how those guys race this weekend if they come across each other on the track. And finally, a hearing has finally been set over the pink Mercedes protests by Renault, and more recently, Ferrari got in on that. So this has been happening after every single Grand Prix through the first 4 weeks. At the end of the race, Renault has been formally protesting the pink Mercedes and filing a complaint with the FIA and Formula One. And this has been kind of dragging on now for about 5 or 6 weeks since the Formula One season returned. So there will be a hearing at it at Silverstone. It could be actually today. If not, we'll probably hear something tomorrow. But regardless, it'll be interesting to see what the FIA and Formula One says about the protest of Pink Mercedes. Will there be anything coming out of this, or will it go away? But top stories that we're looking at going into the weekend. Can't believe the weekend's already here. I'm really excited for it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like my videos, please hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video after FP1 and FP2 tomorrow. Thank you.